December 23rd. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy with his own mistletoe farm, J.P. Shadrick.
Well, that could be convenient. Welcome in. It is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. J.P. Shadrick from the Hyundai Studios. Busy 2 hours ahead on 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. Recapping another Jaguars loss. Raiders 19, Jaguars 14. The only bright spot, Brian Thomas Jr. goes over 1,000 yards for the season. Defensive issues continue, though. We'll keep it real, involving the draft order, which has improved. Fanatics fan questions. We'll try to get to those coming up. We'll go around the National Football League as well. After the game in Las Vegas, another loss. Head coach Doug Peterson.
You're right. It's not for the, for lack of effort, physicality, and all that. The guys do play hard, but the mistakes, penalties, the things that just kind of have held us back all season. It's just, it's the. I think as coaches, players, it's the frustrating part, and until we get that corrected, obviously, there's going to be a lot of long days. We got to get it fixed.
Boy, a frustrated head coach after the game. Pete Prisco, CBS Sports senior writer in South Florida, Pro Football Hall of Fame left tackle Tony Baselli is at home in his home studio today, and boy, that's a defeated. What is so funny, Tony? What's the smile?
Well, I mean,
well, you called it my home studio.
I mean, is that true?
Yeah, I guess. It's Christmas. I got my daughter flew in today from Oklahoma. I got Christmas Eve, so we had a bunch of family here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna kick it here, so I can spend as much time as possible with them.
Plus, it's always great to do the show next to your bust. I mean, what the hell?
Can you see the bus?
Which head is bigger?
Me and JP don't have busts behind us in our home studio.
No, we do not. My goodness.
Should I just leave it like that and just talk to the bus?
No, it's bad enough seeing one of those heads, the real one, but no.
Wow.
By the way, back to Doug. Well, until we get it fixed, we're gonna don't worry about it. There's probably only 2 more weeks to worry about fixing it.
Well, we don't know that, Pete. We do.
I'm not saying. I'm saying with this group.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I mean, listen. How do I say this? You're 3-12. I mean, the high level mark at this point is 5-12. You got to finish the season, and you got to try to finish it the best you possibly can. And it's different for the fans and us compared to the players and coaches, because the players and coaches don't care about draft status or anything like that, and so they just want to win, and that's what they should be thinking about. They just want to try to finish on a good note, some positive feelings on a Sunday night, try to enjoy the last, 2 weeks of this season. Where the fans, Pete, and you know this, I mean, we saw it, the Raider fans were ticked leaving leaving Las Vegas, because they're like, wait a second, we won the game, but we have a worse draft status.
Well, now they don't have the quarterback.
Right, and so everybody else, the fans and everyone else at this point are just like, listen, let's get the best possible draft pick we can. Let's get this thing over with, and let's get to the offseason. So it's a little.
I was waiting for the call down. Raiders from above. Mark Davis, he says, "Please let them score. Please let them score." I was waiting. Think about how the fortunes of your franchise might change. You might have had one of those 2 quarterbacks, and if one of them if the one you were going to get turns out to be like Jaden Daniels, you just ruined it.
Well, not yet. I mean, still 2 weeks to go. I think the only thing we know about the NFL draft is that the Giants are going to have the first overall pick. That's about all we know.
Feels that way, right?
Yeah.
They're bad.
Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, it can change multiple times.
But this game with Jacksonville this week is big for draft seeding, draft position.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is the worst possible place for an organization where your fan base is like literally hoping to lose, because the fan base cares more about the draft at this point than anything else.
Well, not almost anything else.
Okay, let's be honest. The fan base cares about what's going to happen the Monday after the season.
Well, the fan base wants changes.
They want, that's fair.
Let's be real.
So,
the fan base wants everybody out, start all over, and go from there. That's first and foremost. That's the number one priority.
Here's it'll be interesting, and I haven't looked at the X questions yet today. I'm sure I can guess what they are, because it's been a theme the last, several weeks to months. But if I was stack ranking what the fans care about right now, 1 would be change, 2 would be the draft, and then 3 would be what happens on Sunday.
Might even be further down than 3, the Sunday.
Well, if there's only 3 categories, and my point, and that's third. And if you weighted those, it's 60%, change, 39% draft, and 1% what happens on Sunday.
I think you're high on the draft, because the way the fans look at it, the draft won't matter unless you make changes.
Okay, maybe it's 90% change.
90%, 9, and then 1.
9%, yeah, 9.9% draft and 0.1%, Sunday's game.
And I don't even know if 0.1% factors that you might not even register. That's how bad that is. You can't imagine what the crowd's going to be like.
Yeah, who knows? But this is the sad thing for me, because I even have a different perspective than you, Pete. And I know you care about the franchise, but I love this place and I to it. So it pains me to be in the position we are, that our fan base is thinking one thing, completely on a different page than what's happening in the building with the coaches and players. And that's when it's going good, this time of year is the best to be in an NFL city. When you have a good football team, you're winning, your fans are going crazy, they're so excited, the players are excited, like everyone's aligned, and that's the magical part of the NFL come December. And unfortunately, that's not where we are right now.
And that was a bad team they lost to.
They had lost 10 in a row, Pete, the Raiders.
I mean, here's the other part of that is how many guys. I mean, when you look at coaches and GMs over the years, how many guys make it through on 10-game losing streaks after what happened last year? I mean, there ain't a lot.
So you think Antonio Pierce is out too?
I do. I think Brady is going to go in there and take that thing over and give up his TV booth and become their executive VP, and he's going to make a change. I think that. And again, if you make a change and you don't get a quarterback, it ain't going to matter anyways. That's first and foremost. They blew a great opportunity to get a quarterback. Now, whether you believe Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward is the answer, there's a clear line of delineation between those two and the next ones. And so you give yourself a chance. And if you don't get him, what are your options? Go pay Sam Darnold $50 million a year?
Well,
Go get Kirk Cousins?
I don't think Minnesota's going to let him out of the building.
I wouldn't think so either, but go get Kirk Cousins after.
Go get J.J. McCarthy then when he's ready. You can't get him if they're not going to play him.
That's just the point, though. Is if you don't get the quarterback, I don't care who your head coach is. If your quarterback isn't fixed, you're not winning.
Well, hold on. I'm going to back up for a second. First of all, Pete, you're like, this is why you're wrong on that statement, and I'm going to use it like a team this year. And we didn't talk about this, but let's just act like I just gave you truth serum. So you got to tell the truth here.
Oh boy.
You got to think back to what you were thinking at the moment. Beginning of the season, before one game had been played, J.J. McCarthy's out, hurt. They got rid of Danielle Hunter on defense. It looked like a rebuild type of situation. Kevin O'Connell, I think we all think he's a good coach. Coming into the season, we know he's a good coach now. I always thought he was a good coach, but we thought he was a good coach. But Sam Darnold's going to be the quarterback. Pete, how many games was Minnesota winning in Pete Pritzko's mind was Sam Darnold as the quarterback?
8.
They have 13.
Yeah.
And so my point is, you have to have talent at the quarterback position, and I think Sam Darnold's a talented player who's not who went to the Jets. It was a disaster, the situation there. He bounced around trying to get footing. But the bottom line is, it's not just great quarterback play. You have to have a above average, a good quarterback. You don't have to have a great quarterback, and you have to have great coaching. And the same thing I'll say, because we all now are excited about Jared Goff and he's an MVP, but rewind the tape 2.5 years. Everyone thought that there was no chance he was going to make it in Detroit. He started slow. He even said himself this week he thought he was getting benched when Dan Campbell called him into his office.
But he had also been to a Super Bowl for the Rams.
I get that, Pete, but I know for a fact you were done with Jared Goff when he went.
No,
yes,
I was not. I was. In fact, I was one. I'll be honest about Sam Darnold. Never saw this coming, ever. And in the back of my mind, it's still there. When does he become Sam Darnold?
It's hard not to. That's human nature. I guess my point is, Pete, I think it's not just head coaches. I think really good organizations with alignment top to bottom with really good head coaching and coaching staffs can do a lot as long as you have a good quarterback. You don't have to have Joe Burrow
but you have to have for sustainable success in the NFL, you have to have coach, big people.
Not in
that order, but I'm just saying.
I'm going to give you what you have to have for a good organization: ownership, front office, coach, quarterback, big people.
Okay, I'll give you that. And you look at let's for example, let's use the Bengals. They have the coach, the quarterback. They don't have the big people their interior, their lines have been bad for a long time. And some people question whether they have the coach.
I think he's a good coach.
I do too. And some people question their front office, which I don't either, because I think he's done a pretty good job for considering what they have. So, ownership, people say the Bengals are cheap. That's an old narrative. It's not the same narrative anymore. No.
Yeah.
So they're not winning because they don't have the big people.
Yeah.
But you can go around the league and one of those 5 you're right. One of those 5 is bad. You're not winning. But for me, it starts with general manager, quarterback, then coach. Because if you don't have the quarterback, Tony, if you don't have the quarterback, you could have the greatest coach in the world. Look at Belichick when he didn't have the quarterback.
Okay, hold on. Let's make sure we're saying the same thing here, because I think we are actually. When you say if you don't have the quarterback, I think when people hear that, immediately people listening to us and think of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, go down the list of the, top 3 to 5 quarterbacks. My point is you can have a top 10 to 12 quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have Dak Prescott and win.
That's a great example.
Is Trevor Lawrence that?
Yes. I am. Let me just say it now. I've said it 10 times this year. I'm going to say it again. I am a firm believer. I have strong convictions that Trevor Lawrence can win you a Super Bowl, and I still believe that the organization I love, the Jacksonville Jaguars, will win a Super Bowl with Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback.
I think you can win a Super Bowl with Trevor Lawrence as well. I don't like what they've done to him.
Well, no one does. They're 3-12.
But there's reasons for it, and I think with the right system,
they're 4-17.
Right. But again,
we played last year.
And he needs better coaching, but he needs better system. He needs to play better. All of it, A, B, and C. He needs.
Well, he's not. If getting to the game on Sunday, let's just go through this in this year. Trevor needs to be better. So I'm not excusing Trevor, and I don't think he would excuse himself. But Trevor doesn't line up on sides or in the right formation. Trevor does not run the proper coverage. Trevor's not responsible for everyone knowing their assignments. And so it's not, Trevor needs to play better, but I mean, Doug talked about it today, and I could see the frustration on his face.
Yeah, but ultimately that falls at the foot of the coach.
Well, that's where I was going to go, Pete. It's one thing if it's a 1 week deal, but we're looking at now a season, and it was the same issues last year at the back half of the season where busted coverages, busts on defense and lining up and everything else. It's carried over to this year. And so, that has to be fixed. I mean, I said it this morning with Dan. JP and I did a thing for the UK, our UK audience, and I'll say it again here. Before you can win in this league, you got to start by not beating yourself. I mean, you can't beat yourself, and we beat ourselves more than the other team beats us.
Yeah.
It's sloppy.
Yeah.
It's just sloppy football.
And let's dig into that when we come back a little bit more, some of the details of that. It showed up again certainly in Las Vegas yesterday. Coming up a little later, the second hour of the program, we'll have your Fanatics fan questions. We'll keep it real. Another Jags loss. 3-12 record, 2 games to go. And if you want customized Jags furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loan.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinder's home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinder's home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
Football and Miller Lite. Duval's greatest pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going well past postgame. Sunday night overtimes. Followed by Monday morning pride. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Jags football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
You love free. And at Ameris Bank, so do we. That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris Bank free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
I know for the guys that haven't been around, it's hard. And I've been through this stuff many times. And you just got to go play ball and know that your tape is your resume and everyone's watching the tape. And that's what you got to do. And it stinks. And I do everything in my power to scream at guys and cuss and say, let's effing go. But it is what it is.
It's Andrew Wingard. Got some playing time in the game in Las Vegas this week. On the defensive side, 3 passes defensed. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans, 1010XL, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube, JP Shadrick, Tony Vaselli, Pete Briscoe after a Jaguars loss, 19-14. Ugly, ugly, ugly football game, Pete.
By the way, he is not a happy camper.
No.
If I was the old beat guy on that team, I would have had 3 or 4 stories out of him by the time from the last month.
He was a little salty by not being on the field. It sounded like.
Well, you know what? He's not wrong.
That was very un-Dewey-like, because Dewey's like the consummate team.
He's the hype man.
Yeah, and that was interesting.
That was something that he has been waiting to say for a while.
Well, he's coming off the knee injury and all that, and that was kind of the excuse.
How long has he been off now?
A while,
it's been a month.
At least.
It's been a month.
I think he's only been back 4 weeks, though, right?
Yeah.
Right, a month. I think it's a month.
It's a month. So.
But once you're cleared, that means you're ready to go, and he didn't go.
Well, wait, he played special teams, Pete.
But he should have been on the field.
They needed help on defense.
I got a question for you, too. And I'll give my opinion after you guys give yours. How did you think Dewey played?
I watched the tape today. It was just
How did Dewey play compared to the safety play we've had all year?
Much better. I mean, but like he comes running up on some routes where
I get that, but it felt like
he was much more active.
Yes, and he was in the right place.
He should have been. Did you watch the tape today?
Yes.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about when there's a couple plays where he comes buzzing up. He's playing a good team with a good receiving group. They go over the top of him. But saying that, and he also missed the tackle. He took the wrong gap on the touchdown.
Saying he was perfect.
No, but on the touchdown run, he got caught inside.
Yeah, he jumped inside.
Yes. Yeah. But he made plays which you haven't been seeing from that spot.
Okay, am I correct that he had 3 pass breakups?
Yes, that's right.
Can someone tell me the number of pass breakups the rest of the safeties have on the year?
I can probably do that. Give me a second. I can find it real quick.
And you know, you're not wrong, Tony. He was active and he looked like he knew where he was going a lot of the time, which is again been part of the problem.
I just watched that and I'm like, is it just me or is Dewey making more plays than we've seen out of the safety position?
Cisco has 7 for the year. Let's see. Darnell Savage has 6 for the year, but he's been kind of a nickel.
He's been a safety for 8 weeks.
And Wingard's got 3 all in one game.
Antonio Johnson.
Antonio Johnson has 1.
Yes, he should have been, and he had reason to gripe. If you come back off an injury and the guys playing in front of you are tearing it up, then you get it.
Yeah,
that's been one of the weakest spots of the team the entire year.
I was he messed up on the run on the touchdown. He jumped in wrong.
He jumped inside.
I'm not excusing it, but it happens. I'm just telling you, especially in the fourth quarter, he popped on film of busting things. Remember, he only played a half. He had 3 pass breakups at half.
I think he played 60 snaps though, didn't he?
I thought he only played the second half. Maybe he came in the first
half.
No,
he played.
I think he was out there more than that. I think. I mean, let's see.
I thought he played 60 snaps.
Wingard played 85% of the snaps.
Okay, so Savage got hurt early then.
Yeah. But again, he has reason to be upset, and I'm glad he showed it. but that would have been, again, that should have been out like a couple of weeks ago. I would, hey, you know how I used to do, Tony. You go over there and go, hey, shouldn't you be playing? Are you ready to play? Why are they holding you back?
Hey, by the way, it kind of feels like to me that's one of the first times we've heard really kind of a raw emotion out of anybody in a lot that intense this year. That's a problem.
I think what you're saying, that's the first time, and I think you're right, JP. I'm not in every open locker room. I don't hear every comment, so maybe there's others. It's the first time I can remember what you would call a comment off the script of what the coach wants.
Right. Like, I'm upset, and here's why.
By the way, that's not a shot at Doug. Every head coach, and I played for one who wanted to control the message more than anyone in the history of mankind.
Right.
Like, Tom did not want players going off script. Like, here's the message. Like, the message was what he said in the team room, supporting your players, never say anything bad about an opponent. Like, that was the script, basically. Now, we had a bunch of guys who went off script sometimes.
Thank God you did for my business.
we did go off script at times. But that was the first time I can remember going off, like hearing a player this year go off script. Like Dewey made it clear, like, hey, it's about time I get out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and I've been doing that all along, basically, is what he's saying. Here's the other thing about it. And you got to ask yourself this. If he hadn't been hurt, would he have started this year?
I'll just say this. It's a small sample size, but based on what I saw yesterday, he should be your starting safety.
So should he start next week?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean,
what's his contract status? This is his last year, isn't it?
No, he signed a new one before the season.
That's right. But how many years was it?
Probably 3 is my guess.
I thought he had maybe.
Yeah, 3 years, 9.6.
Yeah. He should be on the field.
Yes.
Because going forward, he's going to be a part of the team. He should be on the field. So next, you know how they took Darby and sat him down? Next week they should take somebody, whichever one you want, sit him down.
Yeah, next year, 25 is his final year of his contract.
Hey, JP,
yes.
What did they say about Savage's injury today?
Concussion.
Concussion protocol.
So he'll be iffy for next week anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we'll see.
So if he's not there, Dewey should start for sure.
Well, and then you look to next year, Pete. My guess is, we did this last week, and we didn't look at Savage's number. I'm sure Savage has a pretty big dead number because he just signed. So Savage is going to be back. And I'm not saying Savage doesn't deserve to be back. That's not my point.
The team of dead contracts.
Hey, you want to hear this one?
The Jacksonville team of dead contracts.
Darnell Savage, cap hit next year, $4.8 million. The dead cap, $10.25.
Yeah, you're going to keep him. Savage. I don't think Savage's been okay.
Well, he should have been playing safety the whole time, like I said in the preseason.
Like at this point, which is disappointing because I thought Cisco's have a big year.
He's out. He is a free agent. He's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. In fact, he shouldn't be on the field. Dewey should be on the field.
So very well. And then Antonio Johnson's will be back. He's a young player, very affordable contract.
He barely played yesterday, by the way.
Not much. But, would it surprise you if next year your starting safeties are Savage and Dewey?
No.
Not at all.
But Savage, why they tried Savage at nickel corner is the biggest mystery I've ever seen in my entire life. And I said it all preseason. I did. I pounded. I go, he's not a nickel corner.
You did, but Pete, he did play nickel in Green Bay.
I get it, but that's not what he is.
I was telling you, that's what he played in Green Bay.
Like safety in Green Bay, too. A lot of it.
By the way, the whole narrative last week going into the game was, hey, Brock Bowers is really good at tight end, and he's closing in on 1,000 yards and could break Mike Ditka's rookie record of receiving yards for a tight end and all this. First play from scrimmage from their own 3.
Which linebacker got picked on that one?
Ventrell.
And he did. Once he got picked, he barely even played the rest of the game,
Yeah, he came out.
He hurt his ankle.
Is that why he came out, or was he?
Yeah.
He got picked on that play, and off he went. Off Bowers. That Bowers is good now. How about every time he needed a first down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Late in the game.
Well, that's what tight ends do.
That's what that guy does. Huh?
He had 2 drops of the easy balls. He dropped 2 easy balls. He made 2 catches off his shoe tops on the move that were so athletic and amazing. I'm like,
he's not a great blocker, but as far as pass catching tight ends, he might be the best in the league right now.
But they don't have. I mean, Michael Mayer is the
blocking tight end.
The blocking tight end.
But they also have a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, you watched that game yesterday. It was like a how not to on the position. I mean, my God. And you know what? And going back to Jacksonville's quarterback, and we'll get more into that, he had clean pockets all damn day. I mean, none.
Yeah. Let's come back.
Anton gave up a little pressure. He struggled again.
Later in the game, though, early in the game, he was okay. But later in the game, you're right, he gave up some pressures. But for the most part, and by the way, the guy who went in at left tackle wasn't bad. Again,
Van Lanen has shown himself valuable and played well.
Can he play guard?
No. He's not big enough.
He's not thick enough, right?
Let's come back in a moment. We'll dig a little more into this quarterback conversation that Pete would love to get into. And yes, the offensive line protecting him yesterday in a Jaguars losing effort. Sign up your furry friend for the Jaguars official 4-legged fan club for pets. Is presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your pet will receive access to exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout this season. You better hurry. Visit jaguars.com/promotion/4-legged fan club and sign up now. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, he's done a good job. They once again are going to take him away, and I missed him early. We had the one misconnection on the hold, and then he made a couple great plays late. So always going to keep fighting. He's his own biggest critic, and so am I. So we fit well together. But I think he had 10 or so catches probably for 100-something yards. So he did his part, and we got to continue to give him the ball.
It's Mac Jones, Jaguars quarterback, 25 of 39 through the air, 247, a touchdown, no picks for Mac Jones, 132 of those yards to Brian Thomas Jr. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans from the Hyundai Studios. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, better check out the 2024 Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and game-changing tech, you can dominate, work, play, and everything in between. Test drive an F-150 at your local Ford dealer. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, J.P. Shadrick, Tony Vaselli, Pete Prisco, TintonXLAM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. The bright spot of the Jags offense yesterday, of course, Brian Thomas Jr. And there was some left out there. The drop ball, they had the holding call on. It would have negated it anyway. The double move thrown out of bounds. I mean, he was open between the safety and corner there. Mac just missed him, but you say it every week, Pete. This guy's a star in the making.
He's fantastic, and only the tip of the iceberg. They have their guy. You know, all the good offenses love to have that guy because it creates so much on the other side. You know, you look what Chase does, and Chase is fantastic, and Burrow's great. Don't get me wrong, but with Higgins over there, I mean, it opens up Higgins in one-on-one situations, and I think that's what Thomas is going to do going forward. I love his game. I love his competitiveness. He does get a little frustrated when the pass doesn't come his way.
Yeah, right.
Or on that one on the sidelines, his body language after that throw wasn't great, but you got to love it for a young player, and I think he's fantastic, and that is one player who's going to be a star. And I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Pete, have you watched every top receiver in this league?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But he's new to that. You wouldn't think a rookie would be that.
I think it's an 8.
It comes with the position.
Yeah, I mean, tell me one alpha dog that when he doesn't get the ball or isn't thrown right, that gives you warm and fuzzies afterwards.
Like I always used to say, and I love him to death, and he's one of the best receiver coaches in the league. If Keenan had 3 for 28 and you won, he was not nearly as happy as he was when he had 8 for 32. I'm telling you, and John Osher will back it up for me. And don't get me wrong, he loved win. I'm talking about a day after, not right after the game, but a day later. Come on, Tony, he's just a receiver in him.
First of all, Keenan was never covered his whole career. He was always open.
Just ask. It's so great. It's so great to watch him now, though. Like yesterday, Jefferson had a touchdown and got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for celebration, and I watched Keenan go over there and give him the old man lecture. Come on, Keenan. But as it is, I'm with you. Every receiver in the league, I don't care who they are, they want the ball and they cry about not getting the ball.
What's Brian Thomas Jr.'s ceiling, Pete?
Right there with Chase and Jefferson, right below him, I think. Right there. Because those two are they're in special category. He's right below them, I think. And don't get me wrong, with hard work and better offense and a better quarterback play, he can be there.
Yeah.
But right now, I think his ceiling is right below that, which is special, by the way.
What I am interested to see, because my takeaway of those other guys is that they are hard workers too. And I'm not saying Brian Thomas Jr. isn't, but the next test for him is between year 1 and year 2. Does he go do the work to be a great player? Because we've seen a lot of guys do it for 1 year. But the really good ones and the great ones do it year in and year out.
Well, and the next step, Tony, is now that everybody knows he's that guy, how do you handle the double? How do you handle the physical play? How do you handle over the top safeties and getting mugged at the line of scrimmage? All the great ones learn to handle it. The ones that fall off are the ones that flash, don't put the work in, and never learn how to handle it. And so you're right to that degree. And now when you're an alpha receiver, you're going to get all the extra attention, and you got to learn how to handle it. And from everything I heard, and this is a secondhand story I was told from his days at LSU, Neighbors was the worker. Thomas wasn't when he first got there. They were very good friends. They looked around. He said, hey, if he's getting all the attention and catching all those passes and doing what he's doing, I better get my butt doing the same exact thing. And he did. And that's why he got better and better and better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know Brian well enough. I mean, he's obviously just the rookie. But there's nothing that I have seen that would make me think he's not going to be a worker and do what it takes. It's just that's the next step. That's the evolution for him as a NFL player to build on this tremendous franchise record-setting rookie year. I mean, he's been awesome.
If you redrafted the draft right now and wide receivers went in order, you still might take Neighbors ahead of him. You're not taking Marvin Harrison over him. You're not taking Rome Odunze over him.
No, he would be the first or second receiver off the board.
Correct. Which is, by the way, I actually, the way I had it ranked was Neighbors. I like Thomas second. And I didn't love Harrison. You remember that? Because I didn't think he ran that well. And I don't think he's as sudden as these guys. These guys are sudden. Brian Thomas is sudden. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's going, man. Yeah. That's going.
Well, he has an extra gear that
yeah,
very few have.
Can we get back to the quarterback play yesterday? That was
well. Tony should go upstairs. Where are you, upstairs or are you downstairs at your house?
I'm downstairs.
Okay, go upstairs and you should go wherever the kitchen is and make a sandwich, because that's what your trade that you were going to get. You were going to make a trade for Mac Jones a couple weeks ago. I don't know what you want to put in between it. What do you got? You got any turkey or roast beef or something? Come on.
I think
that's still one of the great things about was it 2 months ago?
No, it was the beginning of the season, Pete. It was the beginning of the season.
But that's refreshed for everybody. What did you say?
I'm not going to repeat it because I was wrong.
But I loved it. I bring that up every Sunday when we're sitting in our green room. I bring up what you said, and everybody starts laughing.
Well, I hope you bring up after that, your Will Levis take.
Oh, believe me, I get nonstop for that, and deservedly so. But again, Mac Jones.
I just thought he was better, Pete.
Sometimes I don't know what he's doing.
He leaves clean pockets too much. And you know what the biggest thing that jumps out at me, Pete? When there's no pressure even, he doesn't go through his whole progression.
He throws it into the dirt at the foot of the guy. He goes to his first. He never – and I'll give you one, and you probably saw this. He threw one, to the right. I can't remember who it was, but he had Strange. If he comes back off his progression, I think he bailed on the play, but he comes back. He has Strange wide open on – and Strange has his hand up. Do you remember that one down the sideline? It's a touchdown, but he never goes there. He stays on his first progression – or he bails. It's that simple. And when he does bail, it's the only time he really made a play when he bailed was late in the game when he kept his head up and threw that one down.
Yep. That was good.
Yeah, that was a good play. But everything it's herky jerky. Is that there's nothing smooth about it.
You know what it is, Pete? His feet are all over the place.
Bad. It's almost like, and I thought the protection was pretty good on Sunday.
It was fine.
For the part. It was
the NFL. It was fine. It's going to be muddied at times. And I had thought, Pete, and I don't know, maybe this is a result of, the end in New England. But Mac Jones is not a top-level athlete. He's a pocket quarterback. And I thought he would be a guy who'd sit in the pocket, work the pocket, and and make throws downfield. And he's not. He gets out of there way quicker than.
And then he puts a lot of passes that aren't in play.
Yeah.
I mean, give a guy a chance. He doesn't give him chances. Look, let's be real. He's the difference between him and Beathard ain't that much. They're not. And, he's a Jacksonville kid. You'd like to see him succeed, but
I'm rooting hard for him.
But he's a backup quarterback in the National Football League.
I think that's right. I mean, I think the difference between him and Beathard, I think Beathard's better at going through progressions. Beathard just doesn't have the arm strength, and Mack has a better arm than Beathard, but doesn't go through the progression like Beathard does.
I mean, there were times where you sit there and you go, I don't know why he's leaving. Just stay there. Stay there. Stay there. And they don't. And look, you can be guilty of holding the ball too long and staying there. He ain't even anything close to that. He's out of there right away. And it's not like, okay, if you were Jaden Daniels and you were getting out of there, that's another story because you can move. Or Lamar Jackson, he can't move like you said. What are you moving to?
Or even Trevor. Trevor's an athlete. He can run, do stuff.
Right. And Trevor leaves pockets too soon too.
I agree, but I had thought coming into this season, okay, if Mack has to play, he's going to be more of a pocket passer. He's going to hang in there. You got to give him some time, but he's going to work the pocket, and he just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think he's Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield 2.0.
Let's come back in a moment.
But this thing, Pete.
What?
A year ago, 2 years ago, no, everyone thought Sam Darnold was nothing but a backup, and now someone's going to pay him $50 million to be the starter.
True.
Yeah,
it's true.
I don't think he's getting $50 million.
Okay, he's going to get 40.
He'll get what Baker got, 35-ish.
That's not chump change, that's for sure. Let's come back. Let's get into the penalties yesterday. We'll get to these guys when we come back. This is what we have to deal with each and every Monday. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's DFHSalesEvent.com.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit DLCabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
big savings?
Yep, which means...
it's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Welcome back. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Vaselli. Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans, 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. Glad you're with us after a Jaguars loss to the Raiders, 19-14, ugly football game. Next week, though, it's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2024 regular season. Join us Sunday for the fan appreciation game when the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans and try to sweep the season series. Lock in your seats for the divisional matchup at Jaguars.com/tickets. That'd be a nice stocking stuffer for Santa to purchase. Jags issues are many.
Right next to the coal.
There's lumps of coal all over this place right now, unfortunately. Jags issues yesterday, there were many. But, I mean, I'm sitting here, Pete, and I'm looking at this sequence of penalties. First off, Eric Armstead was offside twice in a row. They were both declined because of the long passes on him. And then in the second quarter, Las Vegas, back-to-back false starts, moves them back. And then the Jaguars have back-to-back offsides from Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. They could have had more than that. What in the world happened?
Bad football for both teams. They're bad teams. That's what happens. When you're a bad team, you do stuff like that. I mean, it's terrible.
Pete, I said during the broadcast, because Frank and Jeff and I were looking at each other after that little sequence, and I just said, this is what you get when you have two teams with double-digit losses playing each other. I mean it kind of is what it is.
Here's the other part of it. You were talking about situational and coaching and everything. What happened at the 2-minute warning? Do you remember the timeout at the 2-minute warning?
Yeah,
in the first half.
In the first half, I think.
Was the clock? Because I don't think
they were going to run out of play clock.
Were they? Because it looked like it was synced.
I think it was a second behind, or like 3/4 of a second behind. So I think it would have.
See, on the broadcast, they said it wouldn't. And
it was really close, Pete. Like really, really close. And so I think that Doug just.
I mean, again, not great the way you handle it. Why do you let it go down like that, even in that situation? I mean, you're clearly trying to get that play off before the 2-minute warning. So why allow it to even get close to that? I mean, there's a laundry list of stuff every week that you can look at. The busts in the secondary, the dumb penalties, the hold on the fourth down run, or the fourth down run. Did you think he held him? He grabbed a little bit maybe, but that's sometimes that one's not called.
His hands are outside the body of
right.
the defender. So by the rule of the law, the letter of the law, I should say, that's a penalty. And I will say this year, Pete, they are calling holding much tighter than they have in the past.
Yeah. But in reality it didn't have a lot to do with that run. I didn't think. That guy wasn't going to get there anyways.
I didn't think so either. I thought it was a ticky-tack call, but by the letter of the law, you can't have your hands outside.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. It set the stage for the check down on 4th and 20 or whatever it was.
4th and 11. 4th and 11.
What are you doing? Here, Johnson, Dearness, go get it. Dearness Johnson, go get yourself 11 yards.
But that was enough. Now, Doug said in his presser today that they dropped soft coverage, which I would agree watching it. However, there wasn't immediate pressure where he had to get there. Like, you have to let guys work and try to influence them with your eyes.
If he had let him work, he'd have had something in the middle.
On the back, I thought on the backside he could have stuck it into Parker Washington. Yep. Or if he didn't go there, I think it was Brenton Strange, was about 8 yards right over the middle. And I give Brenton 50-50 chance. He could run through one tackle to get to the 11.
Yeah. Well, of all the choices he made, that's the worst one.
He made the most difficult. I would rather have him push the ball down the field. And if it's intercepted, it's intercepted. What does it matter?
I agree. I'm behind you. I thought it was a terrible play.
I did not understand. It wasn't rushed. There wasn't like pressure in his face. Like
no.
He just looked and was like, okay, it's not there. Check down. I'm like, whoa, it's 4th and 11. The game's on the line. You can't do that. I mean, if you're going to do that, throw it to Brenton Strange in the middle of the field and give him a chance to run over one person and get 11 yards.
It would have been interesting had they not had the holding penalty from there, though.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah,
because I think the call would have come down from above. Hey, let him go now. Let him go.
Come on, Pete. What are you talking about?
I mean, here's the reality of this game. They scored on the open drive 7. No, not the opening drive. They scored. When did they scored on the short field after the
Jaguars scored on the short field, the punt return, and the hit out of bounds. Started at the 29-yard line.
Quarter?
Say it again.
Was that
was that late first quarter? Or
Yeah, minute 30 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, so they scored that touchdown late first quarter on a short field. They got the ball like at the 35 after the penalty and the punt return. And so, besides that, the only other points they got was a busted coverage.
Correct.
That's it. And so, I get that they're saying, yes, it would have been interesting to see if they didn't get that holding penalty and got the first down, what would have happened. But if you looked at the course of the game, they had not moved the ball at all.
And that was a terrible play by Jones on that play. I don't know what he was doing. He had a rough go of it. But and he didn't even have to make a move. He just ran by him.
It was busted coverage. I mean,
Yeah.
Jack Jones is playing some sort of underneath zone with no help over the top.
Now,
with 15 yards.
The one he dropped, he made a good move on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he just ran by him, and that was man coverage. He just beat him.
Hey, guys.
First, not sure why you're putting Jack Jones man-to-man against
It's too little.
Yeah. Hey, let's come back. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Fanatics fan questions coming up in just a little bit after Jaguars lost to the Raiders. This is Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover unmatched comfort and convenience. Visit SheratonJacksonville.com for exclusive game day special rates and book your stay today.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elase, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elase.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
Big savings?
Yep, which means...
It's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
We did have some injuries at the end of the season last year. I know Trevor wasn't completely, 100% towards the end of the season last year. Obviously, he's out this year, missing more weapons on offense. So it's just it's a tough situation to be in. But at the same time, listen, I'm not gonna make excuses for it. And, we are who we are, and right now we're just haven't and really for this season we haven't been consistent enough in our play on the field, and so we all take responsibility, and it's something we got to look hard at and try to fix.
Head coach Doug Peterson today, the full press conference available at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. Welcome back. Hour 2 of Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game, we're on 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. After a Jaguars loss to the Raiders, 19-14, an ugly football game all around. The Jags offense struggled again. Had 2 touchdowns, 1 on a short field, 1 on a blown coverage, didn't do anything else really the rest of the day. 2 giveaways in the first half, put the ball on the deck twice. The Jags defense allowed big plays to the Raiders, including tight end Brock Bowers on the first play of the game on defense. And it just continued throughout the day. 5 plays allowed of 17 or more yards in yesterday's game. And the Raiders snapped a 10-game losing skid with a win over the Jaguars, who are now 3-12. 2 games to go, home against the Titans, road against the Colts, and a chance to sweep the season series against both of those teams for the Jaguars. Those are 2 of the 3 wins this year, and that's where we are. JP Shadrick, Tony Baselli, Pete Prisco. It's Christmas week. Merry Christmas, guys. How are you?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You talked about those 2 games coming up. Those are 2 of the 3 wins we have. But you're going to see different teams than we faced. The Titans are going to have Mason Rudolph. They're much more effective offensively, even without Pete's franchise quarterback.
Well, they really aren't, because their rating is the same and their turnovers are the same, and he wasn't that good yesterday. That team stinks.
Okay, fair. I think they're better. Let me put it this way. If you're asking me who I'd rather face this week, I'd rather face Will Levis than Mason Rudolph.
Then maybe he should play, because the Jaguars need to lose that game.
Well, Mason Rudolph is playing.
No, I'm saying that's you'd rather face Mason Rudolph to lose the game, right?
Yeah, that's no. If you want to lose, I think, yeah. And then the Colts are just
got him spinning in circles, Pete. Like a spinning top.
You had me spinning it like a top, Pete, right there. And then the Colts have Anthony Richardson as the quarterback. We did not face him the first time, so there's a run threat with him. They are not a passing team with him back there, but they run the ball effectively, and Jonathan Taylor is a really good back.
When the Colts look back on the season, if they don't make the playoffs, they're going to look back on that game they lost to Jacksonville and say, "Oh no, how the hell did that happen?" Because they'd be smack dab. In fact, I think if they won that game, they'd be the final team in the playoffs right now. They can still get in. They can still get in. They need help.
Control their own destiny if they won that game.
Correct. Or they would control their own destiny if Jonathan Taylor didn't drop the ball on the goal line.
They also could look back at the dropping of the ball, crossing the goal line at Denver. They would have won that game. They'd control their own destiny as well. So they're still in it. We'll see after this week. Who do the Colts have this week?
They play at the Giants.
Yeah.
So they're going to be – is there any way they can get eliminated with a win this week, Pete?
I think if the Broncos win, they get eliminated. Because they would have this – wait, what's the Broncos' record right
Broncos
now?
are 9-6, so they're 2 games up on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So if the Broncos win, they're eliminated.
That's right.
And the Broncos play the Bengals. Not an easy game.
Well, correct. And the Bengals are still alive, by the way.
Yep.
The Bengals have a checklist of things that need to happen. If the Bengals beat the Broncos and the Colts lose one more and the Dolphins lose one more and the Bengals win the last week and the Chiefs beat the Broncos, then they get in the playoffs. Let's put it this way. You'd rather have the Broncos in the playoffs than the Bengals in the playoffs if you're an AFC team.
100%. You don't want to play Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and that group, and that Chase Brown's playing out of his mind right now.
What about the Chargers, Pete? Chargers are 9-6. What if they lose out? I mean, they're not guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a bunch of possibilities, but I do think that look, if Denver loses here's the thing about the Bengals. This week they almost have to root for the Steelers, because if the Chiefs beat the Steelers, they clinch the number 1 seed, and they won't play people the last week of the season against Denver.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You need Pittsburgh to win if you're a Bengals fan.
Right. And so
and same with the Colts. The Colts want the Steelers to win.
Correct.
It's going to be wild. But yeah, I guess my bigger point is different teams than we faced earlier in the season, just because of the quarterback situation on both. For both teams.
Yeah, and they seem to be like the Titans seem to be going off the cliff too. I mean, that game, I don't know, you see the final score. That game was 30-7 at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, it just they looked awful. They looked lifeless.
How did they come back, Pete?
Yeah, garbage time stuff. It was never really a threat, I didn't think. But you know how sometimes the team gets hot and they start coming back and things happen. But Jonathan Taylor ran for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He made up for it. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Time now for – go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, we got to talk a little bit about the defense too.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville.
Lead us, Pete. Where do you want to go with the defense? I got a lot of thoughts.
I'll tell you what. Let's make this Keeping It Real presented by Nobody.
By Nobody.
Still, it's week 17. Nobody. Defense. Let's keep it real. What do you got, Pete?
Well, I will say that I thought the rookie tackle made some plays on
Mason Smith.
Yes, I thought he made some plays. He got some push in the pocket, showed up, and he gets pushed around a little bit in the run game.
But he made some nice plays in the run game too.
But the ones right at him, he gets pushed back sometimes. He gets blown off the ball. But you're right. He made some plays in the run game. I thought he made some plays in the passing game. He had a sack.
Yeah, 3 tackles.
This was his best game of the year.
Sack, 2 tackles for loss, pass defense, and that sack dance, whatever that is.
I think he's going to be really good.
I get my biggest disappointment of this defense. I didn't think either end impacted the game at all.
And that's not a great group of tackles. I mean, they're good. Colt Miller's a pretty good player, but the other guy on the other side's a rookie. And
I thought watching the tape of the Raiders, I'm like, okay, Josh and Trayvon are going to have big days.
Did not.
And they did not. That was the biggest disappointment for me. You know, everything else, nothing surprised me.
Well, Armstead got a sack when he was lined up as an inside. Did
Imagine
you see that?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So, did you like what the rookie did too, Tony?
Yeah, I thought it was his best game of the year.
Yeah, he actually was getting some power moves and stuff, and he lifted guys off. I think he's got a chance. Hamilton the last 2 weeks has actually looked better.
Yeah.
How about the other young guy, Miles Cole? How did he play?
Made a couple plays. You know, made a play where he beat the tight end on the one run play.
That was he beat Brock Bowers on the inside.
Yeah.
That was a nice play by him.
And then he beat Miller on a rush once to get a hurry. Remember when he came around the corner?
They called a hold on it. It was a phantom hold, in my opinion.
I didn't think it was a hold either, but he beat him. But again, you know, some of those. Here's the thing: when you look at that defensive line, if you have a 4-man front next year, which is probably going to have because most people do, but if you have a 4-man front, Allen, Walker, Smith, and a draft pick. Because I personally think and we get asked this question a lot, who they should draft, what they should draft. And I know people like the pretty and Travis Hunter and that guy and this guy. Me, I would take the kid from Michigan and put him right there in the middle of that line and say, I have my 4 now. And now I can do so many different things because I have 4 of them. 4 guys. 4 guys who could do different things. And that'll give me my big guys up front, and now I can do different things and find guys in the back end and find another corner, because I think that changes the way you play. If you have 4 guys who are good up front, it's hard to double anybody, and I think that changes the way you play on defense. It's the old Jimmy Johnson thing. If you have 4 guys who can push the pocket, or 4 guys who are good getting after the quarterback, you don't need to be great on the back end.
Well, here's a couple. Before we get to the draft, I mean, if you're playing, let's assume you're a 4-3. First thing I'm doing is talking to Eric Armstead, saying you were playing defensive tackle in sub next year. That's the only position.
As a backup.
Yeah, a rotational player. Okay,
yes.
Great. I would go get another speed. I think I would have Hines Allen get back to the weight he was last year. I would too. I would also find another speed rusher, more speed on the outside.
I would too.
And in third down, I'd kick Trayvon. I would play Trayvon inside and outside.
Well, we've been pushing that for how long now?
Yep. And then as far as the draft, here's my question for you, Pete. Wherever we're picking, the kid from Michigan, 55, I don't even know what his name is.
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham. And Travis Hunter on the board. Who you picking?
Graham. Me? I'm taking Graham. I think you could find a corner. I think you could find a receiver. Whatever you want to play him at, you can find those guys. Finding guys who can impact the game on your defensive and offensive line are so hard to find.
Can he rush the passer?
Yes. Yes.
He's a former high school wrestler, isn't he?
He's relentless.
Yeah.
He's relentless. He would bring, and I love guys that show emotion and everything. That's one thing I noticed on Sunday. Guys make plays and nobody gives them anything. There's no jumping around. There's no emotion at all. They're the most lifelike I've ever seen in my life. There's nothing. You're a rookie. That's his first sack, right? That was his first sack of his career.
It was his second. Yeah, he had one early in the year.
That's right, second. Yeah. But go celebrate it. Jump up and down. Show some emotion. Am I wrong? You would think the veterans would be so thrilled to see a young kid getting a sack in a game like that. There was nothing. Zero.
He did a nice little shimmy, little dance.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And there's over-the-top celebrations and celebrating a tackle when a guy gets 18 yards and standing up when your team's down, 28-0. But when he made that play, the game was close. Big play.
It was early.
Go celebrate him. Jump around. Yeah.
It's, by the way, Pete, same for the Armstead one, too. I know.
Yes. Talk smack to the other team. Talk smack to the other offensive lineman. There's nothing. It's robotic. It's lifeless. It looks checked out. That's what it looked like.
Remember the 17 team and all those sacks? I mean, those guys would celebrate just walking on the field.
Guys, I mean, they probably went above and beyond.
Yeah, right, but they deserved it. They were that good. They were like,
you know what it is, Pete? It doesn't look like anyone's having fun.
No fun.
The two things that jump out at me this year, the urgency at the start of games, like just the passion, urgency coming out and having fun. And it's a hard game, and it's hard to have fun when you're 3-12. I get that. But you got to create your own emotion, your own energy as a player. And when guys make plays, you got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy the big plays, the exciting stuff, and celebrate.
Did you notice that too? Am I the only one that noticed that?
I've noticed it all year.
Yeah, there's no jumping around and team celebrations and enjoying each other and talking smack. It just looks lifeless to me, and I hate that. I can't stand that. The game is an emotional game. You have to show it. And a guy makes a play, go rally to him. You know, it's to me, it's a bad look.
There you have it. Keeping it real, presented by nobody. Back in a moment.
All year.
Hey.
Disappointing.
What do you want?
Where's the sales department?
I don't know. Holiday, I guess. We'll do the Fanatics fan questions when we come back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
Big savings?
Yep, which means...
It's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a Zip Chair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Tony Baselli, and Pete Briscoe after a Jaguars loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, 19-14. Jaguars 3-12, currently third in the projected draft order for 2025, according to Tankathon.com, if you're into that. This particular website works the strength of schedule out the rest of the season, and so the Jaguars currently third in their draft order. Giants and Patriots ahead of them. Titans, Browns, Raiders, all at 3-12, and then the Panthers, Jets, Bears, and Saints. That's a lot to look forward to in the offseason. This is our draft talk. We always talk a little draft just to appease Pete in this show, and this is checking the box before Christmas.
JP and Pete, would it be safe to say if we lose out, we need the Patriots to lose 1 game to get to the 2 spot. And we need the Giants to lose 2 games to get to the 1 spot. Is that accurate? I don't know what the strength of schedule is for the Giants, but I'm assuming that's what.
Well, and okay, the Giants have the Colts and then the Eagles on the road. Now, will the Eagles need the game? Probably, because for the 1 seed, try to get the 1 seed after what happened yesterday. So the Giants are going to lose 2 games probably.
But Pete, I don't think the Eagles can get the 1 seed if the Lions win next week, because didn't the Lions? The Lions
play the Vikings the last game of the season, so it could end up that the winner of that game gets the 1 sead.
Yeah, that might be the Sunday night football game. That might be the last game of the season.
I guess my point is, but the Eagles will be out of it regardless, is my point.
It could be, yes. But like if Minnesota lost to Green Bay this week and Green Bay lost tonight, that was still a chance. But but if either way, the Giants probably aren't going to. The Giants are playing backups as it is now. They're probably not going to beat the backup Eagles. So they're probably going to lose 2 straight. They'll have the number 1 pick, the first overall pick. Then the Patriots play. I mean, they play the Chargers this week at home, and they close out with who? Buffalo.
Oof.
They just played Buffalo. They play
them again the last week of the season.
2 out of the last 3. Yep.
So. But again, does Buffalo going to need the game?
Probably not, because they're 2 behind the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
Right. If the Chiefs
win Wednesday, right?
If the Chiefs win Wednesday, Buffalo's locked in as the 2.
Yep.
So if that happens, right? Aren't they? They have how many losses? They have 3, and the North winner has
5.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat and they lost to the Ravens though, so it could be. But as it probably in all likelihood they won't need to win, and so New England could win that last game. Jacksonville loses 2, and they end up with the number 1 overall pick.
Pete, let's say we stay at 3,
or the number 2 overall pick. I'm sorry.
Let's say the order stays as is.
Okay.
The Giants are going to take a quarterback,
and so are the
Patriots are not.
But they would trade out of there, and somebody would go up to get that pick.
Why would they trade with the Patriots? Why wouldn't they trade with us?
Oh, they could. Yeah, you're right. Well, you know how that works. Somebody could be worried that the Patriots are going to make a deal.
Yeah.
You know how that works. So,
yeah,
they'd probably be the Patriots to trade out of there, and then you'd be sitting there at number 3.
So at number 3, we stay in this order. At number 3, most likely we'll have the best non-quarterback player available to us.
Correct. Because there's not another quarterback that somebody's going to go up and get.
Right.
So your choice would probably be between Hunter,
Graham,
and I'll throw another name in there. Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Penn State.
The pass rusher. Explosive, dynamic. And you look at it, you say, well, where would he play? Well, that goes to your whole theory, Tony, getting another guy that can influence the quarterback and moving Walker inside.
Yeah.
I still think Walker, if he played inside, could hold up in the run game if he played there full time and be a good pass rusher on the inside.
On first and second down, I wouldn't put him at 3 technique though.
Not at 3 tech, but you could play him that. You could play him in there. You could make him a 300-pounder if you wanted to.
He's a big dude.
That's a big frame, Tony.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Could he not be like Calais Campbell?
Yeah, maybe. That's a fair point. I mean, early in Clay's career, he was much leaner.
Correct. And I think he could be that. And so, I mean, that's one possibility. If you decided you like the speedy edge rusher more than you like the interior defensive lineman, you could go that route too. And then the other possibility is Hunter.
Is he a generational corner, Pete?
I think he's a corner, and I think he's a real good one that you could use on as a weapon in offense as well.
Yeah.
But I think he's a corner.
But is he that good? Is he a
he's
guy
really
that
good.
Locks it down.
He's really good. But yeah, I mean, like the kid at Michigan, Will Johnson, really good corner too. Really good corner.
You know what makes corners really good?
Pass rush.
Pass rush.
Right. Well, Colorado doesn't have great pass rush. They have decent ones, but
I'm talking in the pros, Pete.
oh yeah, correct. We've seen a lot of really good defenses not have great corners over the years. Going back to 1985 Bears, it's hard-pressed to find the names of those two guys that started on those teams. One became a head coach, Leslie Frazier. He was one of them. Mike Richardson was the other one. Weren't great. The Ravens corners on those teams, hell, Jimmy Smith abused Dwayne Starks for 300 yards in one game. They weren't great corners. You're right. Chris McAllister was a pretty good player on that team, though. He was a pretty good corner, but they weren't great corners. They were great defensive lines on those teams, though.
Great front seven.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Both of them.
Time now for the Fanatics fan questions. Jaguars fans gear up at fanatics.com with all the latest Jag styles. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed to everything. We put the cat call out on X. Here's the best we've come up with today. Question number 1. At B for Brendan, should Dewey have been playing more at safety this year? Well, we've gone over this already.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of define this year. He was hurt for, 2/3 of the season. So he's really only been back a month. You could argue he should have been playing more last week on defense, but he had to get his legs back underneath him. He had a pretty significant knee injury. And so if you're asking me now, do I think he should play? Yes. Based on what I saw yesterday, he should be the starter.
Here's the other part of that is, would he have been starting if he doesn't get hurt? And I say the answer to that is no.
But Pete, he might have by now.
By now he would have been, but I'm saying he would not have started the season as a starter.
He would not have.
No.
Next question from X earlier today at Chav16T. Realistically, what will teams trade to the Jaguars for their draft position if they need a quarterback like the Raiders or Giants, just to name a couple?
Well, if you have the number 1 overall pick, they trade a big ransom to get him.
Right. If they're at 3 and the 2 quarterbacks are gone, they're not getting Spadouche for it.
Yeah.
They aren't getting what, Pete?
Would anyone trade up for Travis Hunter to 3?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
They aren't getting what for it, Pete? What was that word you used?
Squadouche. 0. Nothing. Squadouche.
What was that? I'd never heard that before.
You never heard of that?
No.
My man's a big green, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
You don't remember that from One-on-One, the movie?
I never saw that either.
This is way before your time.
Apparently.
Tony probably saw it because he's a Colorado kid. It was filmed in Colorado. You remember it, Tony?
I don't remember that one. Who was in it? Maybe
Robbie Benson was a basketball player, and he went to college on a full ride. And it's kind of loosely based on UCLA. And he gets there, and they beat the daylights out of him or whatever, because they want to take away his scholarship. You don't remember that?
Uh-huh.
Well, anyways, he walks into a party, and he's like, I guess it was a party they were doing drugs or something, and he goes, they have straws in their noses, and the guy goes, ignore him. My man's a big green, if you know what I mean. So that's like he's never been around the world. That's like JP. He's never been around the world.
Oh, yeah. What a pull, Pete. Next question.
JP, it's a problem when you have to explain to them.
Yeah, that was a long explanation to it.
You guys are too young. You don't remember the movie.
Yeah. I'm the youngest of all three. Remember that. At Eric M. Davenport, Pete consistently talks about this time of year being about good losses where young guys play well. Does yesterday count as a good loss considering who we lost to?
No.
Well, Brian Thomas played well.
Here's the thing. It depends who you are. I think for the fan base, they're probably excited we lost because you got the 3rd overall pick now, and they probably want you to lose the next 2. But if you look at the overall organization and losing to that team who had lost 10 straight, it's a gut punch for every coach, player, and front office person in the building.
It's amazing that you don't see when I say that, though, that there are good losses if the players play well. The young players grow. And yesterday,
I see it. I'm talking about the people.
Oh, the people who are playing the game now.
Yeah.
Although then again, you didn't see much emotion from anybody either way, so maybe they don't give a crap.
But it's a bad look losing to a Raiders team that had lost 10 straight.
That's right.
Well, you are the Raiders. Let's not forget that. They're the Raiders. They're no different than the Raiders.
You know what, Pete? I'm glad you said that. Because that is what's painful for me. And maybe what it is, and this is like maybe the first step to recovery is for all of us to look in the mirror and say, that's us.
That's exactly who they are.
That's us.
And you know what I always say about the Raiders? Commitment to excrement.
I'm not going to sign off on that. But you know, Pete, because we talk about, and I'm guilty of this, we talk about bad franchises, bad teams like the Jets, the Raiders, you know, the Browns, you know, whoever, just go down the list, Panthers. That's us right now. That's us. That's who we are.
Panthers have a better record.
For the last year and a half, that's exactly who this franchise has been.
And that's
one
what
of the worst teams in the NFL.
That's what's painful.
Right. But until they start realizing it, then, and you talk about the pain of the loss, nobody showed any emotion at all. Ever. So when a guy plays well, if I see the rookie defensive tackle playing well and they lost, that's progress. Brian Thomas played well and they lost, that's progress. Strange in the last couple of weeks when he plays well and they lost, that's progress.
Yeah. So this, if the draft holds as it is, that's 3 out of 5 years we've had top 5 picks.
Mm.
The story would be so much better if it was the first overall pick. Though.
I mean,
I talked it. I said it can't happen.
Huh? It can't happen. It's not happening. But that's how bad the Giants are. But it's not happening.
Hey, JP, just out of curiosity, what's this Giants' strength of schedule? Can you look at it?
Yeah, it's better than the Jags. So in theory, same
they win
record.
One of the next 2.
Yeah.
And we lose out. We have the number 1 overall pick.
Yes, in theory.
But it's not going to. Well, what's the Patriots' strike? Is Jacksonville's worse too?
Yeah, because they have the same record right now. So in theory, if they played it out, which they do to determine this on that website, the Patriots would be. Yeah.
So if the Patriots won, if the Patriots and Jaguars both have the same record,
it looks like the Patriots would have the second pick.
And Jacksonville would have the first pick.
The third pick.
The third pick.
If the Giants lose, then
what if the Giants win one?
That's a great question. It's a great question.
I mean, it would the best part of the whole thing would be if they picked first.
Because it's never happened in the 3 times in a 5-year span ever.
It just goes to show you where the franchise is. Usually, when you draft first overall once.
Pete, hold on, Pete. You're telling me, is it any different if we're drafting third?
Just for the narrative.
For the narrative, what changes?
Oh yeah, it's not different.
It's not different. So we lost. Okay. Let's just play this out.
Yeah, but when somebody's
saying we won 3 games and we're picking third, woohoo! We don't have the first pick. I mean, give me a break.
But Tony, you know, during draft they'll say, "Oh, this is the third time they've been picking in the top 5 in the last 3 years." It's not going to be the same as you're picking first overall 3 times in the last 5 years.
Pete wants the headline. He wants the headline.
I want the headline.
Pete, let's just call it. It's embarrassing.
It's terrible. And when you're a fan sitting out there, that's why they're all calling for change. Every one of them. They look at that. And then the flip side of it, somebody will say, well, look, they got that star wide receiver later in the first round. Okay, well, you can balance it out by saying you didn't do this in the first round, or you didn't do that in the first round, or you didn't do that in the second round.
Caleb Chazon was a first rounder.
He's got 4 sacks in the last 3 games.
He does.
And he had an interception that was called back yesterday.
He did.
By the way, that play was going nowhere if he doesn't knock the ball down. There was a guy right there ready to make the play. Is Caleb Chazon, could he have helped this team as a situational rusher?
Is he better than Coles?
Hell yeah, he is.
The answer, there's your answer, Pete.
Yeah. But you know what happened? He didn't get drafted by this guy.
He was in the building when they drafted him.
He didn't draft him.
Well, he was the assistant GM, dude.
He ain't taking credit for that one. Come on. I didn't draft that. Come on. You know he pushes that on. And it was a bad draft.
He was the director of player personnel.
It was a terrible draft. That was a terrible draft.
I get my bigger point, Pete's this. it doesn't make me feel any better if we pick third instead of first. In fact, at this point, if you're going to be this bad, you might as well pick first so you can trade down and get more picks.
Listen to him, Pete. I think he's turned the corner.
Yeah, I'm always a big believer in trading down to get more picks. But it's also, if we were arguing in the court of law and gave 12 reasons why the guy is guilty, and we presented all our evidence, the jury would come back in about 22 minutes with a verdict, okay? Guilty, guilty, guilty. Okay? Look at the proof is in the pudding. You're shaking your head, JP, but the proof is in the pudding. There's nothing there's no other way to argue the case the other way. You could have you could have every attorney in the world on the other side, and I'm still winning because I got the facts to lay them out.
That's it for Fanatics fan questions today. We're back in a moment. We'll go around.
By the way, I'd be a really good attorney.
Gosh, can you imagine you in a courtroom just hammering away a witness? Oh, we're back in a moment. We'll go around the NFL. 2 for the price of 1 segments ahead. Oh, boy. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Does propane power your home or business? Count on AmeriGas for expert propane delivery with a neighborly smile. At AmeriGas, the official propane partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, their drivers deliver for Duval. Their local team will keep your home or business running smoothly throughout football season and beyond. Call 844-PRO-JAGS for a free propane quote today. Grilling this tailgate season? Visit AmeriGas.com to find your closest cylinder exchange location and keep it teal with a custom Jaguars wrapped grill tank.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Jacksonville Builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Welcome back. Jaguars Happy Hour continues. The second hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick, Tony Vaselli, Pete Prisco licking our wounds after another Jaguars loss. 19-14. It's time to go around the National Football League in Week 16. And, yes, Thursday game, Chargers beat the Broncos 34-27. Both of those teams fighting for a wild card spot. The Chargers got a win. The Broncos have the juice. Do they have enough, Pete?
I don't know. It all depends on what the Chiefs do. If the Chiefs don't play in the final week of the season, I think the Broncos get in. If the Chiefs play the final week of the season or need to, it's going to be tough sledding for the Broncos to get in.
But, I mean, I don't think the Broncos are doing anything in the playoffs, one. And two, let's give Sean Payton a ton of credit because they're probably a year or two ahead of where they thought they'd be.
Correct.
I mean, I think they got $50 million or $60 million of dead money on the cap because of
Russ Wilson. Yeah.
Because of Russell Wilson. I think we lost Pete.
I'm here.
Are you there? Okay.
You must have lost my picture for some reason. I have no idea. I can see you guys.
That's what we call in the business an improvement.
Yes, it is much better.
Yeah.
Then they would go to the one on the left and knock that one out real quick.
But, I mean, Pete, I think you'd agree. I mean, they're ahead of schedule, and they've done a great job because I don't think anyone saw the Broncos making a move this year for the playoffs. Rookie quarterback, a lot of dead money on the cap because of the Russell Wilson trade. So their hands were tied a little bit, and they've had a great year. So whatever happens, I think the Broncos are going to say, hey, we are poised for the future. We have our franchise quarterback. We have our head coach. Let's go build it now.
Yeah. I mean, they're in a great situation. And he wanted that quarterback, and he got him, and here he might make the playoffs. They got a lot of young players on that team, good young players.
I was so excited about Saturday because of the 3 college football playoff games and the 2 NFL games. The playoff college games were not great. And then the NFL games. Chiefs over the Texans, 27-19. The Ravens beat the Steelers 34-17. These games were not even close, Pete.
Yeah, but that game was close.
Yeah, that was a good
I thought the Ravens Steelers game was much closer than the
score. You're right, because they had the picks, the whole thing, yeah.
And the Chiefs game was relatively close for most of that game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. You're right.
The college football, though, was atrocious.
It
was terrible. It was terrible. I don't know if the ratings came out today. I haven't seen them, but I imagine the NFL crushed them.
I saw some tweet earlier that, it was like 7-something and 6.5 for the other one, NFL games, and then all the biggest, Tennessee, Ohio State was like 5 and low 5s, something like that.
Yeah. You know, the other thing about it is everybody's given, how dare the NFL play on Saturday when college football. NFL played on Saturday for decades after the Army-Navy game. College football made a mistake.
And I don't want to state the obvious. NFL's king. They get to do what they want.
Yeah.
Guess what? They're also going to play on. They also never used to play on Christmas because that was supposedly the NBA day. Not anymore.
No. In fact, we got 2 games on Christmas.
We do. Absolutely.
Sold them to Netflix. They're on Netflix.
I mean, so let's hope the streaming service works a little bit better than that Jake Paul fight on Netflix. I'm hoping that works better. But, I mean, the NFL's king. And when the king wants to play a game, they play a game, and everyone else has to get out of the way.
Except on Friday during the high school season. They can't.
Well, because they don't want to.
Well, they can't. They're not allowed by law. There's an old law in the books that they can't do it. But again,
they wouldn't want to play on. They actually don't want to compete against college either because that's the growing of the game, especially high school. They don't want to. Sorry, my battery's about to die on my computer.
What law, Pete, was that, by the way? What year was that, or were you there when they enacted that?
No, that was a long time ago.
That's what I'm asking you for.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think I was alive, but I don't think I was around. And here's the other thing is everybody's got to watch at 1:00 on New Year's Day. Got to watch that one.
Yeah.
Is that Arizona State?
Yeah, I'm worried about that one. I didn't want to play Texas.
I am Pete. You know what? Send me an Arizona State T-shirt. I will take a picture. I'll wear it.
Wow.
I'm going to be going hard for the Sun Devils in that game.
If I can get you one, I'll send you one.
I'll wear it, take a picture, because I want the Sun Devils to win.
Yeah, but Texas is so big.
I don't think they have a chance, and you know what, to win, but I want them to.
Yeah, I don't think they're too. ASU will score on Texas. I just don't think they'll stop them. They're too big. Have you seen Texas' offensive line? It's enormous.
Yeah.
Some other NFL games: Falcons big over the Giants. The Panthers beat the Cardinals.
Let's go back to the Falcons game. Michael Penix getting his first NFL start and getting a win as a rookie. How did he play? I didn't watch it.
It was like, did some good, did some bad. It wasn't great, but he made some throws and he looked comfortable. And now we'll really see what he does, because they play on the road as the team that's leading the division against the Commanders on Sunday night. First road game.
Pete, what the hell happened to Kyle Pitts in Atlanta? He tipped that ball for the lone interception. What's going on with that guy?
He's just not. He had the one rookie year, and then after that, it's been disaster. He's been a bust. Top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember him coming out of Florida? Everyone thought he was going to be the second coming.
Remember Urban was talking about trying to trade up to get him? Remember that?
Well, Urban also wanted to draft Tony, remember? He wanted to, when they drafted ETN, he wanted Kadarius Toney.
That's
remember?
right. That's true. Panthers over the Cardinals 36-30. Panthers now have a better record than the Jags. The Lions beat the Bears. How about the fake fumble play touchdown? I mean, why pull that out now?
Well, because there must be some variation off of that. But I'll be honest with you. I didn't like the play. You can leak that tight end out without doing the trip, the fake trip. What if he really fell and tripped? It's a sack.
Does it matter? They're going to win no matter what.
I know, but I don't know. It's almost like, look, he gets creative. I love his creativity. I just don't think you need it. The guy would have leaked out. Everybody runs that play, the tight end leak. You go, you get him out. He acts like he's blocking. He comes across the formation.
Pete, it's every little thing with this Lions team with you, man. Let him have fun.
Is that fun?
I thought it was.
It's kind of fun.
I just, because you got to look at it from the standpoint. What if he actually did fall down? Then it's a sack.
He can fall down any play. He didn't.
You just
do you stumble and fumble all over yourself on every play, Tony?
He was doing it on purpose, you idiot. He was under control.
He could fall. I didn't like it.
I mean, Pete, I'm going to go back to what you said about this Jaguar team. They don't have fun. They need more fun.
Is that fun?
Yes.
If he just leaks out normally, it's fun.
Everybody in the NFL, every fan loved it except for you, Pete. You are Grinch.
He's total Grinch.
Scrooge Briscoe is what your name is.
Yeah, well, I just look at it from a practical standpoint. It wasn't practical.
Oh, give me a break. There's nothing like you pick and choose when you want to be practical.
No, I don't. I don't. I just didn't. I didn't think it was that great a play.
And you always seem to pick it when we're talking about the Lions.
Huh?
You always seem to pick to be practical when we talk about the Lions. You can't stand there.
They do a lot of stupid things.
They're 13-2.
But they also do a lot. They also would have been in the Super Bowl last year if they didn't do the stupid things.
Okay, fine. They're 13-2 with like 11 guys on IR.
Because the team is good. They're a good team. I'm not saying they're not a good team. Did I ever say that?
No, but you're being very negative, and I'm tired of your negativity. I have enough negativity in my life with the franchise I love, Pete. I don't need more out of you.
Well, you're also partial to that franchise.
No, I'm not.
You love the Lions because your buddy's a coach on that team.
I love their quarterback coach, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's come back. We'll get to the rest of the games when we return. 2 for the price of 1 around the NFL this week. Ladies, join us at the bank Sunday, December 29th. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for the lively and fun-filled Glitz and Blitz brunch. Enjoy delicious pastries, refreshing mimosas, and a special appearance by the Roar and a Jags legend. Grab your tickets now, Jaguars.com/Glitz and Blitz. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year 1 in one of Dreamfinders' 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're back, baby. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick from the Hyundai Studios. And for 11 years, Dreamfinders Homes has been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jags. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all the available inventory. And go Jags. JP Shadrick, Tony Baselli, Pete Prisco. We continue our look around Week 16. And Monday Night Football coming up as well. Bengals over the Browns 24-6. Colts beat the Titans 38-30. The Rams over the Jets 19-9. But the Commanders beat the Eagles 36-33. Jaden Daniels is pretty remarkable, Pete.
Thought he was the best quarterback in the draft going in, and he's the best quarterback in the draft right now. And he's special. He plays with an ease and a calm, and that's the thing that stands out about him. 4th and 11, scrambles for 20 yards. So he has the ability to go get outside the pocket, but boy, he can make some throws that you just go wow, including the touchdown. I mean, they have themselves a quarter. That's a great situation in Washington because they have money and they have a quarterback.
Absolutely.
What about the Eagles, Pete? I mean, Jalen Hurts concussion protocol, so, it's a coin flip whether he'll be ready this week or not. My guess is yes, he will be. But without Jalen Hurts, they could
they didn't lose because they didn't have Jalen Hurts. They lost because the defense that was number 1 ranked all year couldn't stop them when they needed to stop them.
I mean, that's fair because they did score 30 points.
33.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But, yeah, Jaden Daniels, speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Pete, I was reading today about Caleb Williams. I mean, I follow him just because of SC. Jaden Daniels is clearly the better player this year as a rookie. But Caleb Williams having a sneaky good year for all that he's going through with how unstable that franchise is, gone through multiple coordinators, head coaches. I mean, he has 19 touchdowns, only 5 picks, and has thrown for the 6th most yards in the history of the Bears franchise with just over 3,200.
He does have a tendency to get a lot of somebody called him the Caleb Blake Bortles Williams the other day because he has a tendency to get him late in the game. But
he's not throwing picks, Pete.
And it's amazing because he can make some throws that you look at him and you go, oh my gosh, what a throw. And then he spins around on the next play for about 42 minutes. So He's got talent. He'll be fine. He's going to be a good player.
He threw 4 touchdowns against the Jags and then had 4 games without one, and now he has 5 consecutive games, 4 of those with multiple touchdowns.
Yeah, he's getting better.
I think he has 19 touchdowns in the year.
That's right.
Mistake.
That's correct. And 5 picks.
He's getting better, and he will be fine. I just don't think he's the other guy.
Vikings over the Seahawks, 27-24. Bills beat the Patriots. They had to rally to do it, but they did it. And the Dolphins beat
Was that not a classic, by the way? Team wins big game on the road against the Lions and comes home and plays a bad team and kind of goes through the motions for 2 quarters, looks up and goes, uh-oh. And then they found a way out of it.
I do think it's interesting that they finally announced that Josh Allen's been playing with a broken hand.
Yeah.
Here.
On his non-throwing hand, but still.
I don't care. It's broken, and the guy plays quarterback like very few people do in the NFL. He's a power runner.
Like a linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, he is so good, Pete. I mean,
and he didn't even have a great game.
As wrong as you were about Will Levis and Christian Ponder, you held your guns over the first 2 or 3 years of Josh Allen's career, saying he was going to be a star, and boy, he is.
You got to give me Patrick Mahomes too, because I was on him too.
Okay, so you're
0 for 2 with Ponder and Levis, but 2 for 2 with the other 2.
500.
So I'm like an NFL general manager. I bet 50%.
Weren't a lot of people on Patrick Mahomes?
No, there were not. There weren't as many as you think.
Really?
I could look at it.
I was always big on Josh Allen, so I was with you on that one.
Yeah.
Dolphins over the Niners. The Cowboys beat the Buccaneers, which means the Falcons are in the driver's seat in the NFC South.
That's a bad loss for the Bucs. But
are they really? Are the Falcons really in the driver's seat? They got to go to the Commanders. I don't see them winning that game on Sunday night.
But,
and then the Bucs play host to the Saints and the Panthers to close out their season. If you had to pick which team would be the team that represents the division, who would you pick?
I would still pick Bucs.
Yeah, but they didn't play well last night.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that Falcons can. I'm just saying they have the harder road.
Much harder.
Monday Night Football, the 5-9 New Orleans Saints with nobody left to play on the field visit Lambeau to face the 10-4 Green Bay Packers. A win, and the Packers secure a spot in the NFC playoffs. Who you got in Green Bay? I think I know the answer.
Come on. I mean, I haven't seen a team this depleted since the 49ers. But, I mean, you look at this team. Derek Carr not there. Kamara not there. All the receivers are down. All of them. They're playing a bunch of guys off the street. Defensively, they're banged up. I mean, this is a bad football team right now.
Could they not they can't flex Monday nights?
No. They flex Sunday and they flex Thursday, but they're not flexing Monday.
They should flex Monday because not that there was a great slate of games Sunday, but better than that.
It's the Packers, though, and they can clinch a playoff spot. That's why they're
right.
Yeah, but it's against the Saints. Is anyone going to watch? I mean, I'll watch it. Just gotta love
everybody will watch it. It's the NFL. Of course they'll watch it. Stop it.
Yeah. There you have it. Look around the National Football League. Pete, what are your holiday plans this week? What do you got?
I'm working and then going out to dinner with my father and my wife, and we'll have a nice little time. Going out to a nice Italian restaurant.
Which one?
It's on Oakland Park. You wouldn't know what it was. Why, you've been to some of them?
No, I was just curious. I like
Anthony. Ever gone to Anthony's on Runway 84 down there?
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, they redid it.
Why don't you go there? That'd be a good place for dinner.
I don't think they're open on Christmas Day.
Nice.
JP, what are you doing?
I've got the Chiefs and the Steelers on Westwood 1 Christmas Day.
Good for you.
So,
wow, look at that. Look, he held out telling us that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he held out.
It never came up. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and then I'll be back Thursday morning.
Look at that guy, huh?
Should be a good game.
Good game. Fun.
It will be a good game.
Whose color?
Ross Tucker.
Oh,
Good
I know
guy.
Ross. Yeah, okay.
Had him. We had him on a Monday night game in Miami earlier in the year. Yeah, I will.
Ross.
Good people. So, and you got family in town, Tony.
Yeah, I got all my kids are coming. My daughter got here today. My son is taking the red eye on Christmas Eve, so he'll be here Christmas morning.
Where does he live?
San Francisco.
Okay.
And then we'll have everyone here, but one son-in-law will not make it because he's at a bowl game. So we'll have all of my kids, grandparents will be here. It'll be chaos. Is
that the offensive tackle?
Mm-hmm.
Where's he play at now?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
Love it.
So
Does he play?
He started the first 7, I think. Hurt his ankle. Missed a couple, and I don't know if he'll be back for the bowl game or not. That's my daughter.
So he's in the portal. He was in the portal then.
Mm-hmm.
So he made more money than you did when you were at USC.
A lot more. Pete. A lot.
Merry Christmas, guys. We'll talk to you next
Merry
week.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Tony
See you guys.
Baselli, Pete Briscoe, I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew, Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber, and David Cho. And this is Jaguars Happy Hour.